actually don't have a lot of time, which is
I know.
great.
I know. I know.
My son's been sick since Wednesday, and
Oh,
it's
pobrecito.
been, yeah, it's been an issue. But great stream.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to come and destroy Austin's assistant. Um,
Woo!
she has always been a beggar. This thing, I hate asking for money, is full of shit. When I met when I started, um, like, it was just odd. I was like, oh, I wonder what the Power Rangers are doing, and I looked it up. I was like 20. I don't know how old I was. I was super young.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what are they doing? At that time, Susan and Mel were Jason's assistant,
So
social
they were
media
Jason
assistant.
David Frank's assistants?
Yes,
Woo! Okay.
right. Then, um, I started talking to Jason more often, um, like on social media, whatever. And they would do, he would do like boot camps and stuff like that. And I wanted to do it, but I was like, I was real apprehensive about like going. First of all, I was fat as fuck. I didn't want to like do karate and shit. So I was like, no. And this lady that says that she doesn't ask for money asked me for money. And I
Oh,
don't
shoot.
remember if it was 100 or 200. I want to say it's 200. And I sent it to her on like some green dot card or something.
Okay.
Because she's like, she needed money, right? And she's like, oh, I'm going to pay you back, whatever. Here we are. This was like 20. When did I meet Jason? 2011? This must have been like 2010
Okay.
or something like that. So
Yeah,
here we
that
are.
makes sense because I started going to cons again heavy around 2010. And I remember, and this is the thing about you, Francis, that I remember you because Jason always posted you and was like, hit up
Yeah.
Francis if you want anything, if you want like more information. And I wanted to hit you up for that Tiger Zord necklace that he was making.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I never
that
did
must have
because
been
I
like
was broke.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like I started working with Jason 2012,
Okay.
100%. But like 2011, let's say. So she was like, "Oh, hit me up some fucking sob story because there's always a fucking sob story," and me like a fucking naive little girl, right? I'm like, God has blessed me. Let me just send it to her. She's gonna pay me back. Here we are, what, fucking 14 years later, still has not paid me back. Bitch has gone on vacations. They were in Japan in 2024. So, you can't be that hard up for money. She's done multiple GoFundMe's, multiple stuff. And I wasn't the only person that she took money from and never paid back. And mind you, I started going after this girl like, yo, pay me, pay me, pay me. Never paid me. But life paid me in the end because
Yeah.
I got so close with Jason that I replaced them.
Yeah.
And they got with Austin thinking that in 2014 Austin was going to come and they were going to dethrone Jason and myself, I guess. I guess it was team Jason and me and then Austin and them. But they always felt short because you cannot, God does not like ugly. And when you start scamming people and scamming friends and lying about sob stories and stuff like that, God gets you back. They've been exposed for being racist. They've done some shady, like she called Muslim women monkeys and rags. That was Susan.
Oh,
And
wow.
Mel like applauded. And not only that, they were so fucked up that they had um like Austin had like Jason had Team JDF ambassadors, then they had like Austin Street Team, whatever. And they would talk shit about us, Jason and I in those streams. They would call me a cow, they would say I was stupid, they would call me a hoe. Like they didn't even know me from a hole in the wall. Mind you, this bitch owed me money this whole time. So I was, I'm petty. Like
Yeah.
so I would post like, bitch, before you talk about me, pay me my money. Then you could talk. One time they went on vacation. I'm like, how you on vacation and you owe me money? I mean, $200 is nothing, right? But
Yeah.
it is like if you tell me, Francis, can you give me $200? I'm gonna give you $200. I'm not gonna expect it back. But the
Yeah.
minute you say, Francis, I'm paying you back, I'm expect you to pay me back. You know what I mean? I'd rather you tell me give me the money than lend me the money.
Yeah, that's what I always tell my wife. I'm like, if you're gonna give your cousins money, don't expect to get it back. Just give it as a favor. Don't expect them to pay it back because you're gonna get disappointed.
Yeah, and then that's why I was like, I rather, so whatever. These people, they're liars. They've been scamming fans as well.
Hmm.
They've been doing shady things as well. But then she wants, when you read that whole thing, that they were like, I don't used to ask money. I'm like, bitch, you asked me for money like the second week I was on the page. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
luckily, God bless me, and she'll get that. She got that karma back because Jason gave me 100 times that, right?
yeah,
Um, but it's just like I can't believe that they're still doing these things to the fans. But you want the fans to give you money, but y'all said some racist shit about minorities. You know what I mean? Calling
hmm.
Muslim women monkeys and rags. That's crazy. They've done a whole lot of stuff. And she has a history, a criminal history
Oh
of
wow.
check fraud
Oh, I
in
I heard something about that.
1997.
I heard something about that.
So, like, all this shit. And then Austin, this is the people that Austin has around him and continues to have around him and enables it because you know how many people have told him about the racist rants that Susan and Mel have said? Like, and he has nothing. They say nothing. That he's like completely oblivious. And he can't say, "Oh, I didn't know," because I know for a fact big time Power Ranger bloggers have addressed it with him.
Wow.
So, that's bullshit. They're all bullshit. I mean, they belong together. They thought Austin was gonna come and dethrone Jason, but all they are is they use people, right?
Yeah.
I thank God, I know how to do graphic design. Most of the designs that I'm doing now are on my fucking phone. You imagine the designs I used to do on computer?
No,
Me, with
you used to do the Jason ones. I remember your designs. Your designs are really good, Francis.
Thank you. But like they could never, and it would Jason and I would just laugh like, oh look, we would post something this week, 2 weeks later, they're posting something similar, but it would be like Timu JDF. And that's what Austin is always gonna be. Austin will always be Timu JDF
Yeah.
because he's never going, they would never reach. They would never even like when someone's like forced, it feels like they're forced. That whole thing with the fans, he's forced. Forced grandeur. I went. Who the fuck would believe I grew out a beard? Like Osama bin Laden. That just even
In the
sounds
military,
fake.
like I told Chef, I
Exactly.
was like, that doesn't make any sense. That's like if me, when I was working with the LA County Fire Department, I was like, oh yeah, I had a full beard in the fire department. It's like, what? You can't
And
have a full beard in the fire department. You can
and
have a
it's not even
mustache, but you
that.
can't have a beard.
His reason for growing out the beard was so he could look like the locals. Austin is white, 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 whitey, white.
That's
How
what I
would
was
he?
thinking right now too.
What is he gonna? He is not gonna mix with the locals. What is he talking about? Like, it's just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah,
Mind-boggling.
like I can fit it with locals with a beard, with a full beard. Like, sir, you look like a white boy with a beard.
Like, it's just so many, so many, so many things that I could just keep going. But these women, I mean, Javi was. I don't know if Javi's still there here. They're just a cancer. They're a cancer. Um, to the community because it's like they've already the Power Ranger community's already been scammed enough to
Yeah.
the Rangers are scamming, the fucking Rangers assistants are scamming. Like that's like wild, wild. And to me, I was blessed to be Jason's assistant. Jason paid me very, very well. I can very, very fucking well. I'm sure.
Jason was smart. He was very smart. He didn't have the degree, but I think, and
No, he
maybe
was a
you could let
genius.
me know. I think he went to the Heim School of Saban, and
Yes.
Heim taught him because the way that he moved was so Heim.
And it's crazy because I was actually talking to someone today. He taught me so much about the long term.
Yeah.
right? Everyone now is just thinking about the short term, spot funds and Kickstarters and this, that, but they're not thinking about the long term. They're
Yeah.
not thinking about, hey, maybe if I give this for free now, in a year, I'll have double. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He gave shit for free. He did things for free. Whenever a fan asked him for something, he did it. And it ended up, what did he ended up with? Loyalty. The next time that person came, they paid triple, four times. There are people that paid even, $800 in a sitting, and they would not feel robbed. Like right now, if you
Yeah.
go to Austin's booth, you're gonna feel robbed. First of all, he looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like, at least if you're gonna charge $120 for a fucking picture, dress the fuck up and look like an actor. Don't look like a Joe Blow from across the street.
Yeah. You're
Even
charging more than William Shatner. At least make my picture look good.
exactly. And Jason always taught me that, like, I'm telling you, I will never forget anything that he teaches me. I use it every day. I use it, um, I use it in my regular life. That's how I run business. That's how I run my real job. That's how I run it, because he's taught me so much. He would, I can tell you a story. I know it's gonna sound like people might. I remember one time I went with a fake. I don't remember if it was a Louis or a fake. No, I didn't have a fake Louis. I never got a fake like Michael Kors. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't. I wasn't into brands, and I just saw it. I thought it was cute, but it was fake, obviously.
Hmm.
And I remember that he was like, he looked at it and he's like, hey, you're representation of me. Like, you could never, don't wear that again. And I was like, oh, I didn't even fucking know. Like, I just saw it in the street and I thought it was cute. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I think like the next week he bought me a Gucci. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he knew that if I look like shit, I was a representation of him.
S-
When I used to
So
do like petty
I
shit
told
online, he'd
you.
be like, stop.
Yeah.
He's like, no. You know what I mean?
No, I told you I worked for a rock star too. So I was an assistant for a rock star, and the same thing. I never thought of dressing stuff like that, but then he's all like, "Yo, you're a representation of me. I'm not asking you to put polos on or nothing like that, but at least put on a brand."
Yeah.
So since then, I've always at least had a brand, like a branded clothing, so that even if it's not expensive, at least people will be like, "Oh, okay, he dresses up
Exactly. Like,
like he doesn't
I
look
didn't
like
wear,
crap."
I was bigger. I didn't wear like not a lot of name brand stuff, but I will look nice. You would never see me with things with rips. I would always smell good. My bag will always have, perfume and stuff like that, because I knew that I was a representation of him. I knew, like, sometimes, like, if I was arguing online, he would like cut the leash, like, don't go extreme, because I can go extreme. But
Yeah.
when he was like, let loose, unleash, do what you do, and I did it. But I knew, like, to a point. My name was never It's Francis Baby at first. It was It's Francis Bitch. And I remember he was like, I can't have Jenna follow you. And, like, if there's kids that follow me, I can't be like, hey, DM It's Francis Bitch. So that's when
Yeah.
I changed it to It's Francis Baby, because he was the one that pushed me to start social media, just like he was the one that always pushed me, like, hey, start a YouTube. But I was so shy, not shy, because I was just so self-conscious, I guess.
Yeah.
I have never been shy. I was just so self-conscious, like, oh, people are gonna talk shit, and I
It's
know
funny because
me,
we're
I'm gonna
both
be
the
honest.
same. This was when I first started, like, hanging around that rock star and being the assistant.
Yeah,
I was super big, and then, like, I think that's around the time that JDF really like started doing his weight loss thing. So I was just like, okay, cool. I think fonts pushed me a lot, and so that's when I started going like really ham on the weight loss.
yeah. I mean, Jason, the same. What was good? He always said to me, "You look beautiful at your size." But when I told him, like, yeah, but I want to lose weight, he would push me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And always, even from the beginning of time, when Susan and Mel would call me a cow, yet, bitch, bitches, y'all fatter and uglier than older than me. I mean, let's get it together.
Yeah.
But sorry, I have to be petty. Um, he would still be like, "Hey, don't listen to them. You're beautiful. Look at your face. They wish." He never put me down for my weight. He taught me a lot of things like, "Hey, you're the representation of me." I would never like go out, even like when we were in Dubai.
Hmm.
Um, I it was a little, Dubai's a different culture. You
Yeah.
can't really wear low cut stuff. You can't really wear really short stuff. And I remember it was hot as fuck, like hot as fuck. And I had a jacket, like like a windbreaker, like a pink windbreaker jacket,
Yeah.
which I lost, and I love that jacket. But it was like a pink windbreaker jacket, and I lowered it like a little bit because it was so hot in Dubai. And I remember like a parent or a guy, he was dressed obviously and he said something to the con like, "You need to get her out because she's not decent." Mind you, it was like minimal cleavage. Like it was just even. And I remember that Jason was like, "What the fuck on? Y'all not kicking her out for nothing." Like, you know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
a person, he really went, just like he went out for his fans, he really went out for me. And I think that Susan and Mel, they thought that Austin was going to do that for them. To my understanding, he doesn't pay them. They go to shows, and I mean, that's probably what they get paid in, being able to go to shows in the back, because all they want is the fame and notoriety that people know that they're his assistants. But that wasn't the case. Jason was very giving with me. I don't know about them, but with me, very giving. He saw that I would put in work. This man would write to me at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, like that. He was a genius. His mind was always working, and I would match his thing to the point that it was so much. He would be like, "Francis, so much. I need to get someone else too," and I'm like, "Sure, go ahead." Like I wasn't even bothered.
Hmm.
Um, but they wanted to dethrone Jason, and they thought they could, and it backfired on them. Because Austin would never reach the popularity of Jason. Austin did not capitalize on the fact that he came in 2014. He had been gone for such a long time. If he would have done things right, instead of this nicking and diming the fans, you know he would have been absolutely there with Jason and Amy. But no, he just started nickeling, diming. The people started selling. I remember. I don't know if you remember the video that he's like that he was gonna charge $600 for his autograph on Pops because that's what someone told him supposedly
Yeah. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much it went for. Like it's just bad business, and I feel like if you surround people if you surround yourself, the people that surround you make you,
Yeah.
right? Austin surrounds himself by these women who are racist, have said racist shit. They're disgusting. They're mean to the fans. They were mean to Jason's fans. That's why Jason replaced them. It wasn't, I mean, and I was more skilled, obviously, but more so was because fans started really bitching because they would, Melanie would be known called a Sarge. So she literally would be like, no, like yelling at, that's not how you treat people. Did Jason have bad days? 100%. He was human.
Yeah.
There were, like you said, there were days that we didn't even eat. New York Comic Con, we wouldn't even eat. I swear to you, I carried more like, he used to like Cliff Bars, Snickers. I carried more of that for him, Red Bulls, obviously, because we did not have a chance to eat half the time. And it
Yeah. He
became
was
so
always
crazy
on the
that with
go.
time, like,
He was always on the go. That
exactly.
Power Morphicon, you weren't there, 2016, because I was looking for you because I really wanted to meet you. At the time, we
No,
didn't know each other.
I didn't go to Cali.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I didn't go to Pharma.
yeah. So I remember I felt so bad for him because like I could tell he wanted to move the line, but other actors would cut the line to have a whole conversation with him.
Yeah.
And he was backed up so much to the point that like me and my friends were stuck in the same spot for like 3 hours. So the whole time we were just trying to make him laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we felt so bad. He looked like he was
And
stressed the hell out.
that would be a lot. That would be a lot of shows. New York Comic Con was the same thing. And and a lot of other shows, Salt Lake City, like it was just a lot. But my point is, I reflected him.
Yeah.
His assistants were as much as I don't care for Nicole also would never look like shit because we were a representation of him. I don't care about what these dumb people that met him for 20 minutes want to say, you know, um, about, oh, it's just dumb, right? All
Yeah.
they want to say, oh, I knew you, Jason. No, the fuck you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. Like, if you knew Jason, you would not be talking all the shit that's coming out of your mouth. All these things about, uh, let's say people say that, oh, he wouldn't fuck with Henry. How the fuck do they know? Oh, he wouldn't fuck with this person. How the fuck would you know if you didn't know him? You know what I mean? It's just a lot of things, and I'm sorry that I'm rambling, but my point, my
No,
main
you're
point
not.
is that I would never go on. I would never go on or do anything that would affect his image. I would never
No.
do that. There was a point that it did get a little heavy between the assistants and I. Like, we would argue like online, and people were like, and he would see that I would visibly get upset, and he was like, "Yo," it gave him some points like, just fucking ignore them, fuck them, like they're not at your, um, they're not at your level. And then I clicked them off and never heard of them again until now. Um, but it's funny how it doesn't matter how much you hide, and this is for everyone. Doesn't matter how much things you hide in the dark, they always come out. Whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, they will fucking come out. They would fucking come out because that's how it is. You know, all of these people you see, let's the owner of the grid, like Shay says, talk shit about you, fucking talking shit about Rudy, about Rudy's disability, talking about your situation, all that. And then he says, oh God, whatever. No, God does not like that shit.
Yeah.
You will reap what you sow, and you will reap it no matter what. We all pay for what we do here. So that's why, am I perfect? No. Have I fucked up? Yes. But I feel like I'm not a bad person, let's say. Um, am I a petty bitch? Hell fucking yeah. Am I gonna be nasty if you're nasty? Yes, 100%. Um, but these women, they come and do this stuff and think that no one's gonna cover them, or no one's gonna tell the truth. You've done racist shit. You've done fucked up shit. You scammed fans, and I hope they fucking see this video, and and other fans see this video and don't donate, because just like you have the fucking gall and audacity to say racist shit and concur with someone that says racist shit, then you don't deserve the help of fans, because Power Rangers are not about racism. They're not about discriminating disability. They're not about calling people f bombs and all that shit. So n- th- I'm just throwing shots at Rican. Sorry,
No, it's all good.
Rican, fucking Mel, Susan, all that. They don't represent Power Rangers in
No.
any way. In any way. Talking about kids and SAs and all this stuff is like disgusting. And I'm glad you fucking brought it up. What else
No,
was I
for
gonna
sure.
say?
I think it's important to bring up because, like I said, like I think Austin's gotten himself in too much hot water that even the assistants are now having it. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, I always knew that he didn't give them that. That's why they were so bitter, because Jason was their cash cow, right?
Yeah.
Jason would give them. They would charge him for stuff and say things, and things would go. It's just a lot
Yeah.
of things happened, and I replaced them. And because Jason got tired of the fans complaining about them asking for money, well, specifically Melanie asking for money, being rude and disgusting to the fans, that happened. That was one of the main reasons. And then for Austin to hire them just to, like, out of spite for Jason, it backfired on him, because everyone knows. Why do you think they say Team Austin? They don't say Susan and Mel anymore. They used to say, when they wrote on his page, Susan, Mel, but because of the backlash from the racist posts and all that, he probably told them, like, just put Team Austin so no one knows it's them, but we all know it's them.